days when you feel life is inside out. There are nights when your mind doesn't want to settle down. You're in between who you are and who you wanna be. And while you work it out and what it all could mean, I pray you be.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and make this fast because I actually have something I need to go do right after this. I'm probably cutting it a little bit short doing it now, but you know what? YOLO. Okay, so I definitely was not planning on getting a bunch of books today, but I went into my little local bookstore and they had these cute little grab bags, and they had these 2 Christian fiction grab bags today, and you're not supposed to look and see what's inside. Hopefully my phone doesn't cut off, and hopefully my hair is not too appalling to look at. It's very humid today. It's very gross. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm very excited if you can't tell. If I don't end up liking the books in here, I can give them away. I can donate them. I mean, this was $10. Cheap thrills, okay? I'm gonna start with this bag. So the first one that I'm pulling out here, it's kind of like messed up, which is kind of disappointing. This first one is called When the Heavens Fall by Gilbert Morris. I'm gonna read the first sentence of each one. I feel like that'd be fun. So the first sentence.
Now, you behave yourself, Master Brandon Winslow, and keep your blooming hands where they belong.
Okay. That's interesting. The next one we have is Beverly Lewis, The Reckoning. Let's read the first sentence and see what that's like.
Years ago, as a young Amish girl, I decided that I would age very gradually.
Kind of bland, but I don't know. So the next one we have is Solemnly Swear by Nancy Moser. The first sentence of this one.
Someone is coming.
First sentence of that one is kind of cool. Next we have Above the Clouds by Gilbert Morris and J. Landon Ferguson. I don't really like the cover, not gonna lie. The first sentence.
This will do, Jason Stone said, holding up the front page of the newspaper.
Yeah, my hopes are not real high. Next we have The Bluebird and the Sparrow by Jeanette Oak. It looks interesting. Just looking at the cover, honestly, I get Mary and Martha vibes. Anybody else kind of feel that? I don't know. On the cover it says,
Looking at her pretty sister, she felt plain and ordinary.
Poor thing. The first sentence of this one is,
In spite of an eerie stillness about the house, people seemed in an awful hurry whenever they passed from one room to another.
I feel like I could like this one. So next we have Prairie Storm by Catherine Palmer. This is book 3 in a series apparently, so I will probably be getting rid of this one. But let's see what the first sentence is.
A sudden, high-pitched cry caught Lily Nolan's attention.
I'll give you 2 bonus sentences.
She sucked in a breath. A baby?
The drama. I don't know about that one. Next we have Jeanette Oak and T. Davis Bunn. I really hate this cover. This looks like a guide to not get a divorce. Does it not? It's like save your marriage. First sentence is,
Kyle could not help but pause and gaze at her reflection.
is Kyle the girl looking at her own reflection, or is Kyle the guy looking at the girl looking at her reflection? Why isn't he just looking at her? Next we have Too Long a Stranger by Jeanette Oak. This is another cover I kind of feel like I could get behind. I kind of like the style of the cover. It's kind of cute. So the little quote on this one says,
The frontier life had required their parting. What could bridge the chasm between their 2 different worlds?
I don't know, girl. What could? First sentence is,
I've got to think. I've got to plan.
let's see. Next we have Jeanette Oak and Laurel Oak Logan. Dana's Valley. First impression, cover's not it, y'all. First sentence is,
I slipped the butterfly bookmark between the pages of the journal and gazed out the window of my bedroom.
wow. I'm not like other girls' vibes are strong. Next we have The Book of Ruth by Jane Hamilton. Okay, so the first sentence is,
What it begins with, I know finally, is the kernel of meanness in people's hearts.
I don't know, kind of gives me self-help book vibes. Does it not look like a self-help book? And that's the last one in that bag. So, moving on to the second bag. I'm excited because I see a Francine Rivers book, and even though it's in bad condition, I love Francine Rivers. So first one I'm pulling out here is called No More Bullies by Frank Peretti. And I've heard of Frank Peretti, and I want to read something by him, but this sounds like a self-help book, and I do not know if I'll be reading it. Okay, so the first sentence is,
A separate room had been prepared for the boys.
bonus sentence because it caught my eye.
It was cold and impersonal, like a prison. The echoing concrete walls had been painted dirty beige, then marred and chipped over the years, then painted again.
Oof. Next we have The Betrayal, The Lost Life of Jesus, a novel by Kathleen O'Neill Geer. So chapter 1.
Misty rain had been falling for 2 days, and the dark mountaintop was cold and sweet with the fragrance of damp pine needles and wet earth.
Moving on. Don't know about that one. Next we have Miscarriage of Justice by Kip Gaden. Let's see what the first sentence is. Oh, Red Boiling Springs, Tennessee. I know exactly where that is. That's like 45 minutes away from where I live. Interesting. Okay.
When Walter Dotson volunteered at the Red Boiling Springs Christian Camp just before his final year of medical school, he had no idea he would meet the woman destined to become his wife.
The only reason I'm reading this is because it happens in Red Boiling Springs, Tennessee. Next we have The Scarlet Thread by Francine Rivers. It also disgustingly looks like it has peanut butter smeared across the front, which I'm not a fan of. Okay, so the first sentence is,
Sierra Clanton Madrid couldn't stop shaking.
I'm kind of intrigued, and also I was looking at these little tiny books in the bookstore today, and I'm kind of like intrigued by them because they're like the perfect size. They're so comfortable to hold, you know what I mean? I don't like the peanut butter on the front, or whatever that is, but that sounds like a good book. Next we have Entertaining Angels by Judy Duarte. The cover, I don't know how I feel about the cover.
Renee Delaney trudged along the sidewalk on her way to the bus depot, her leather soles scraping against a layer of city grit on concrete.
I kind of feel like it has potential. There's something charming about it. Is there not? Look at the little swing. That's cute. I don't know. We'll see. Next we have... Yeah, I don't think I'll like this one. This is called A Ready-Made Amish Family by Joanne Brown. First sentence is,
You look like you could use some help.
no thanks. Not from you. Next we have A Carol for Christmas by Robin Lee Hatcher. First sentence is,
Carol Burke would never forget the day that Jonathan drove over her heart.
alright, Carol. Next one. This is in like really good condition. This is actually an advanced reader's copy. It's an Amish novel though. Don't know if I'll be into it. The Promise of a Letter by Kathleen Fuller. Let's see what the first sentence is.
Leanna Chump clasped her hands behind her back as her rollerblades glided against the asphalt.
Wow. I'm not like other girls. Amish version. I don't know about this. I'm not about biblical fiction. It's just not my thing. So we have Mary Called Magdalene, a novel, and this is the chunky one. It's by Margaret George. First sentence is,
She was carried to a place she had never been.
and bonus sentence because the second sentence intrigued me.
It was much more vivid than a dream. It had a depth and a color to it, an exquisite detail that made it seem more real than the time with her mother in the courtyard, more real than the dreamy hours she spent sometimes looking out at the great lake of Magdala, the one so grand they called it a sea, the Sea of Galilee.
Next we have Lee, spelled the quirky way, by Lynn Coate.
Through 2 horrific days and 1 long night, Lee Sinclair had held it together.
Sure. It's, again, book 3 of a series, so I don't know. And last but not least, we have another Amish novel. Yay. Summer Promise, The Season of Hope by Marianne Ellis. The first sentence is,
Marion Brenneman stood at her kitchen window, gazing out towards the green fields beyond.
we'll see. Anyway, that's my fun little book haul. The ones I'm most excited about are, this one's on the lower end of things, but I'm kind of excited about this because of the location that it happens in, supposedly. And then obviously the Scarlet Thread once I clean off the peanut butter or whatever that is on the front. And then the Bluebird and the Sparrow, kind of sounds fun. And then this one, Too Long a Stranger. Also with these two, I'm definitely just judging the books by their covers, but gotta do that sometimes, you know? And then I'm also kind of excited about When the Heavens Fall. This kind of sounds fun. And if y'all have read any of these and have thoughts and opinions on them, let me know in the comments because I'm more than happy to hear them. The ones I'm not excited about are this one, and this one, kind of this one, and also this one. And this one's kind of eh. Anyway, so that was the video for today. Like, if one of them is recommended by one of you guys, I will be way more likely to read it because honestly, I'm probably going to get rid of half of these. It was just fun to open them like Christmas or something. I had better get going because I have another thing that I have to do this afternoon, and it looks like it's about to rain and my car windows are down. So it's just a chaotic time. We're here for it. I hope you have a wonderful, non-chaotic week, and I'll see you next time. Bye!